name's Gaye Perks and I'm going to do a session of exercises that are particularly suitable for people who have Parkinson's or for anybody who needs the extra support of a chair. And the idea of these exercises is really to help people to increase their mobility and their range of movement. A lot of the exercises I'm going to do, they're in the big and bold classes that I used to run for Parkinsons UK in Coventry and Nuneaton. So ideally, if you've attended any of those classes, these exercises will make a lot of sense to you and they should be easy to follow. If you haven't got any underlying health conditions and you just want to do a nice mobility workout that's going to challenge you a little bit and it's going to get you to use those muscles and it's going to help you to increase your range of movement. I'm going to do it in a couple of sections. First of all, seated on the chair, and then some standing with support of the chair if you need it, and then also, just to finish off, because it's so important, some balance exercises. So first of all, you need to have a nice firm stable chair, ideally a dining chair, so that you know it's safe, it's not going to move. I'm going to start by sitting nice and tall, just rolling my shoulders back and round. And you're just going to do this a few times just to loosen off those joints in the shoulders. And then turn the head gently side to side. No rush, just start to turn the head nice and gently. And then with your head in the centre, we're going to look at the ceiling. And then come back to the middle as if your chin is on a shelf. So lifting, opening out down through the front of that neck, and then coming back to a nice long spine. While you're doing all these exercises, try and breathe normally throughout. Don't hold your breath at all. So rolling those shoulders again. We're now going to bring the elbows round as well. And then start to circle the wrists. And then make that movement bigger. And you're going to start to reach up and pull down. So I want you to reach up towards the ceiling and then pull down with those arms to the side. Still sitting nice and tall in your chair, keeping everything else in a good postural position. You reach up and you reach down. Excellent. From there, take the hands across the shoulders and we're going to turn them up behind you, back to the middle and then the other way. Just to start to mobilise through the spine a little bit more. So you're just turning from side to side. Now I'm only going to be doing about 5 repetitions of everything. But you could do this a couple of times, play it through, or you could just do more of each exercise each time. So from there, relax those arms. You're going to reach down to the side, nice and tall, and then the other way. Just make sure you feel secure on your chair. You don't feel like you're going to fall off. It's really important to make sure you're stable. So ideally, your feet are firmly on the floor, and you're just reaching from side to side. So if you've dropped something on the ground and you need to pick it up, you might start to be able to go a little bit further once you start to warm up. And then sitting nice and tall, hands on the thighs, we're going to straighten one leg. So you're going to flex and point your ankle. Just waking up the ankle, and then you're going to circle the foot round one way and back the other way. And then gently place that foot to the floor and the same on the other leg. So we're going to flex and point the ankle, and then circle one way and the other way, and then pop that foot down. Wonderful. So now I want you to bring your bottom a little bit further towards the front of the chair, but you're still stable. From here, you're going to take your foot out and back and lifting from the hip and the knee. So I'll show you from the side. Obviously you won't sit in a chair this way, but sitting tall, you lift over, you lift back. It's as if you're stepping over a sleeping cat on the floor. So you're stepping over and you're stepping back. Now try to make this movement as big as you possibly can. Obviously you're sitting properly on the chair, so it's stepping over and stepping back. And again, between 5 to 10 of these on each side would be ideal. Try and get that big lift from the knee, from the hip. So you're literally stepping over and then you're stepping back. Excellent. Now still sitting quite close to the front edge so you can move from the hip. We're now going to take your leg out to the side as far as it will go and then bring it back in. So we're going to go out and back. Still sitting tall, trying to keep these muscles working to keep you nice and upright. And moving from the hip as far as it's comfortable for you. Then we're going to do the same on the other leg. So you're stepping out and you're stepping back. Lovely, and just one more of those. And now we're going to do the same leg action, but we're going to take the arm that's opposite to that leg out at the same time. So we're going to step out and back. And this is one of the Parkinson's big and bold exercises. So ideally, you're going to go da and bring it back in. So out and back, and try and get as much movement as you can through the arm and from the hip. And it's a big stretch out right from the middle, reaching out, coming back. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So we're going to go out and come back. So as you step out with the leg and you take that arm behind you, just follow it with the head slightly. Don't make yourself feel dizzy at all. But you're going to try and make these movements as big as you can. Excellent. So now, just more heel to toe. Keep the blood pumping up through the legs. Get those legs moving. Then we're going to start to do a gentle march. So we're going to walk our bottom to the back of the chair again. And when you're here, you're going to lift one leg and lower, and then the other leg. But try not to lean back on the chair. Just have the chair there for your support if you need it. Try to really bring these legs up and down. Tightening these muscles above your knees. Keeping it nice and strong. So just a couple more on each leg. And then we're going to walk our bottom forward again, lifting the hips. So it's a nice good walk there through the hips. Sitting really tall. I want you to bring your hands in towards you, so your elbows are tucked into your ribs. You're going to make a fist. You're going to push your fingers forward, turn the hands over, make a fist, pull them back. So I'll show you from the side. So it's forward, fist, back. Forward, fist, back. Big movement. Think like push and pull. Push and pull. Push and pull. Make it big, make it snappy. So you're telling those messages into the brain, getting the muscles to work how you want them to. Excellent. Then relax those shoulders again. So now, keep those legs moving, keep yourself nice and warm. You'll start to add the arms in. So it's just a march on the spot. And then when you're ready, you're going to shake out those hands. You're going to keep those feet moving. You're going to be a little bit close to the front edge of your chair, making sure that you're safe there. You know, you're not going to fall off. You feel secure. Now we're going to push the leg forwards with the arms at the same time. Big lift and a big press. And then the same leg is going to go out to the side. So you're opening out. Now I want you to push that foot to the floor and press the fingers down. So you're just tapping the toes slightly backwards. When we do this again standing, it will make a lot more sense. Then we're going to lift the knee up. Try not to lean back as you lift the knee. It's very tempting for your body weight to go backwards on this one. Excellent. Same on the other side, forward and back. Biggest movements you can, particularly if you have got Parkinson's disease. It's very important to make your movements as big as you possibly can. They might not be as big as mine, but that doesn't matter. As long as you're moving and you're getting those messages to the brain. And then point and tap. And it, as I said before, these exercises are suitable for anybody. And then we've got that knee lift. Now again with the knee lift, try not to lean backwards. Try and sit tall and use those muscles deep inside. You'll start to feel this quite quickly in your thighs. And then we're going to march on the spot again. So we're going to walk our bottom right back to the back of the chair. Sit nice and tall and then walk your bottom forward. So it's a hip walk, lifting and walking. You get to the front, let's walk back again. So walking forwards and backwards on this chair takes quite a lot of movement around the spine at the same time. Okay, and the last time we're going to walk forwards. So you're on the front edge of your chair with your feet on the ground, just gently let them march. So now we're going to try and keep moving. Remember head, shoulders, knees and toes? Well, our heads are going to be up in the air. Your shoulders, your knees and your toes. So you're going to get a little bit of a back stretching with this one. So nice and tall, shoulders relax. It's head, shoulders, knees, toes, knees, shoulders and head. So try and make it big. Head, shoulders, knees, toes, knees, shoulders, head. Reach a bit further. Head, shoulders, knees, toes, knees, shoulders and head. One more. Head, shoulders, knees, toes, knees, shoulders and head. And relax those arms. Well done. Shake them out. So I'm going to get a band for this next set of exercises. Now if you haven't got a band at home, you can use a pair of old tights if you can find some from somebody. You're not going to get the same amount of resistance, but it will give you something to just help you to pull against it. So with this band, I'm going to take it around my back and underneath my arms. Sitting tall on the chair, just have your body weight in the centre now for this one, just so you're stable. So don't wrap the band around your hands, just either scrunch it up inside the hand so you know you've got a good grip, or just hold it so you know it's secure and it's not going to fall out of your hands. But try not to wrap it round at all. So sitting tall, you're going to press those arms forward, count to 3, and then slowly release them. So as you're doing this exercise, you're trying to stay upright in the chair, nice and tall, not holding your breath at all. Pressing them out, count to 3, and then gently come back. So we're pressing away and coming back. And just one more. Just relax a minute, get those legs moving in. Try and keep it warm if you can. Excellent. So now we're going to go back to this, but this time we're going to go a little bit higher. So we're going to press them up and away and back down slowly. I'm just going to move slightly just so you can see my shoulders. So we're going to press them up and back. Excellent. So as you're pressing them up and away, if you've got any problems at all with your shoulders and that's uncomfortable, you can take them lower down. Just see how high you can get them without it causing you any pain. You're trying to strengthen those shoulders, but you're not trying to make them painful. So you probably notice they keep moving. You don't hold your breath and you don't hold the arms above your head. So when you're doing the shoulder press, I want you to keep that quite fluid. When you're doing the chest press, you can hold it for 3, you can bring it back. So sitting tall again on the chair, I want you to bring your knees and feet together and you're going to take your band, pop it over the top of your thighs, take it underneath, over the top once and just pop your hands there. You don't need to wrap it around your hands or anything. So at the moment my knees and my feet are together. I'm going to walk my feet apart, so now there's already a gap between my thighs and there's a little bit of tension on the band and you'd feel that. And all you're going to do is you're going to press out, count to 3, and then slowly release. So you're going to press out, gently release. Good. This is really going to help strengthen the outside of your hips. Don't push out so far that it's painful, but you do want to feel some resistance. So if you haven't got a band at home, you can do it without the band, just to do the exercise. Or, as I say, you could try maybe a pair of tights, see if that helps. So holding it for 3 and then releasing it down. So unwrap the band. You're now going to put the band with one long end onto the floor. I want you to put both feet securely on the band on the floor. Taking hold of the long end, grab it so the tail comes out over the top of your thumb. Just hold on to that band. So when you're ready, if that's not comfortable, you can put the band wherever it's comfortable for you, but don't wrap it around the hand. So sitting tall, you're going to bring the thumb to the shoulder and then take the hand away. So working the muscles of your biceps here in the arm, you're just bringing the arm up and down. And strengthening the arms like this will really help you when you're lifting and carrying, shopping, or just moving around gently. The idea of the band is it's a little bit of resistance. If you haven't got a band, you can do this exercise with an empty bottle that you've had water in. You just fill it up with water or a couple of hand weights if you've got them lying around, or you can use a tin of beans. Just find something that's going to give you a little bit of weight resistance. Okay, with the same arm, I'm now going to take my arm out to the side and bring it down. You'll notice I'm only going to shoulder height. So this is just to work these muscles across the top of the shoulders. Don't extend too far, don't go too high because you'll start to feel pinching. So again, think about your posture, you're sitting nice and tall. We're just going to shoulder height and back down. Again, I'm only doing about 5, but you can do up to 10 of these when you're doing them at home. Excellent. Now the last one we're going to do with this arm, before we move over to the side, is you're going to just hold that band a little bit tighter, a little bit lower down. And I want you to bring your arm backwards and then relax. I'm going to turn so you can see that. So you'll bring the arm backwards, sitting really nice and tall. Just pull back and relax. Try and make sure the movement is pulling back, not lifting the shoulders. The shoulder stays relaxed. You're pulling back with this part of the arm. Excellent. So now we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So again, you need the long side in the other hand. Feet are on top of that band. It's not going to move. It should be quite secure. Holding it down, thumb to the shoulder and back down again. You might find one side's a lot easier than the other. If it is, then just take your time and try and strengthen the side that's a little bit weaker by doing a few more of the exercises on that side. So you've got real control as you're doing these. Then we take the arm out to the side and back down. Again, try and make sure you only go to shoulder height. If you lift too high, you might just lose your balance, and that's not what we want. You want to be nice and upright here and strengthen the muscles here. Good. So again, 5 to 10, that should give you enough to help you gain something from the exercise, but not be uncomfortable. Then we're going to hold that band a little bit lower down and just pull back with the arm. So you're just pulling back. You're not lifting the shoulder. You're trying to push the arm low and away. You're pushing it away from you. Excellent. So take your band, sit on that front edge of your chair again so you're nice and secure. I want to hold your band over your palms. Grab it, bring your elbows into your rib cage. Now your hands need to only be the distance apart of your shoulders. You're going to try to keep your elbows tucked in tight, and you're going to bring your arms out and bring them back in. Again, you can do this with light weights, with water bottles, you can do it with tins. If you've got the band, it helps you because you can actually just have a little bit more control. But if you haven't got a band, just doing the same exercise without is still going to really help you. So see what you've got at home that works for you. And that gives you that resistance. Shoulders relaxed. Now we're going to do one, I'm going to move the chair back slightly so you can see the whole of the leg. This one people find a little bit more difficult sometimes. You're going to place the band underneath one foot. And then you're going to hold the band by your knee. Now at the moment my heel is on the floor. I'm going to lift my knee and my hands come to my hip. The band is still underneath my foot and I'm sitting tall. I'm going to press out and bring the knee back up. So you're pressing out and away. The movement is through the whole of the leg. Some people with this one just lift the knee up and down like that. That's not actually going to help you get the exercise to work on the right muscles. So you're pressing out and away. So you're pressing out and away. Good. And again, try and stay as upright as you can. Changing legs. It's really important. Make sure that band is really securely underneath the foot. Now, knee comes up, hands to the hips. The hands stay on the hips and you press down and away. And if you're doing this, you should feel that resistance through the leg. Try and take your time, keep it nice and strong. Down and away. Excellent. Again, try and do 5 to 10. Now, if you haven't got a band, you can still do that exercise by lifting the knee and pushing the foot downwards. You won't get the same resistance, but you're still going to get that range of movement. So now we're going to go from the back of the chair and we're going to walk your hips forward, right to the front edge, and then I want you to bring your feet back to the chair. You're going to come up, stand tall, march gently on the spot, walk back till you feel the chair again, and then bending slowly down, sit to the back of the chair, and then we're going to repeat that. Hip walk forward, bottom at the front, feet back, sit to stand, and up you go. Walking back, sitting slowly. Okay, you ideally should do this 10 times, but you need to take care to come all the way from the back to the front, into the right position, feet come back, body weight pushes up, march on the spot. So we're going to also do a variation of that that's a half sit. So come to the front of your chair, feet back, halfway up and down. So this is a little bit quicker, a little bit more of a squat. So you're going to reach forward and back, forward and back. Lovely, lifting from the chest. Just one more. And then sit slowly, relax those shoulders, march on the spot again. Make sure you're nice and warm. And then we're going to come to the very front edge, ready for the last sit to stand. So you're going to stand tall for me, nice and steady, and just come to the back of your chair. So I'm going to move the chair so it's easier to see. So the chair's there for support. If you don't need the chair, then obviously get rid of it out of the way. So ideally just marching on the spot, using the chair for support if you need it. You're going to take a big step forward, lunge through and step back. So I'll show you from the side. You step forwards and back. I want you to imagine you're stepping over a low step. Up and over and back. Again, these are back to those big and bold exercises that really can help if you've got the Parkinson's, and if you haven't, they're suitable for everybody. Big and bold and back. So you do that 5 to 10 times, and then you'll just march on the spot and you'll do exactly the same on the other leg. So you're stepping forward, you're stepping back. Just make sure wherever you're doing this, you feel safe and secure. If your balance is a bit off, you can always stand between 2 chairs. It's a big lift and push back. So we're stepping over, we're stepping back, and then marching it through. Now, in the class that I run, we do a bit of a circuit. So Things like using the balls and the bands and we use walls as well. But this one, if you haven't got a ball, you can pretend you've got a ball, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to lift the ball as high as I can and push it down. So lift and push. Now, obviously if you want to, and you're not going to break anything, lift and push. So lift and then grab that ball. Only do that if you feel safe, if you've got the room. But you can do the lift and the push and get that big movement, pressing it away. Now the other one with the ball is you're going to do step out to the side, step back in. So we're going to go out and back. Now if you don't have the ball, not an issue at all. And then exactly the same on the other side, so you're stepping out, and the leg is coming slightly behind you as the arm goes out to the side. Excellent. The other thing to do with the ball, if you've got a wall and you're happy to push it, throw it at the wall and catch. It doesn't matter if you drop it, it's just getting that movement there quite quick. So there's a couple to do with the ball. Again, if you don't have one or you don't want to throw things at your wall, that's not an issue. Just think about that push, that practice of throwing away. Another one to do if you have a ball is to do a little bit of basketball type practice. Now, again, not everybody's going to want to do that, and not everybody has a ball to do it with anyway, but you can still do that action. As if you've got a ball and you're tapping it around, getting some movement there. Lovely. So, one exercise that is really good for you is to do a chest press. So, on this wall here, you can see me, I'm going to have my hands on the wall at chest height, standing tall, take the body weight forwards and press it back. So you can use the wall to support you as you strengthen those muscles across the chest and through your arms. So it's nice and controlled, but you've got the wall there to support you. Now one thing that we do in the class is we do some moves such as over the river. So you have to be imaginative. This is my river. Pop it on the floor out of the way. So what I do is I walk up to my river and I step over and then I march round and then I walk up to it and I step back and I march round. Now the important thing with this exercise is as you're turning, take your time, small steps, literally stepping round at that type of pace. Try not to turn too quickly because it will make you feel quite disorientated and it will make you probably lose your balance. So you walk up as if you've got something on the floor, you step over, you come up, you turn around, slowly marching through on the spot, and then you do exactly the same way with the other leg, over the river. Okay, so moving the band out of the way. As I said before, all these exercises we're doing at the moment, we do in the class format. So we'll have done the chair exercises, done the exercises with the bands, done a little bit of standing balance work, moving the legs, and then moving around into things such as stepping over, throwing the ball, big throw down. Another really good one, if you've got a scarf or a handkerchief, is you lift and you throw as you catch. So you just do that big movement, snatching the arm through, lift and catch. And you can do this with a scarf, a tea towel, anything that's going to fall as you throw it. Excellent, so that's that one. So, one of the really good exercises to do is stepping on the corners of a box. So if you imagine you've got a big box on the floor, you're going to step 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's the corners of your box, and you're going to make it big and bold. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. If that gets easy, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You start to turn on the corners of your box. And these are going to maybe make you a little bit disorientated if you're not careful. So make those movements big and deliberate. If you do the turn, you step and you're almost stomping to bring you back to your start position. Excuse me. The other thing that's really good is, again, using band if you've got one, just doing those arm exercises while standing. And you can march gently on the spot while you're doing them. You can keep them controlled. And then for this next one, ideally, you can do it with the chair, with a table or a worktop, but you're going to stand with your feet hip distance apart. We're going to go slowly onto your toes and back down to your heels. And you're going to do that 10 times. Definitely try and do this one 10 times every day, just to get the strength through those feet and the ankles. You're lifting and you're lowering. If you don't need the chair for support, then obviously don't use it. Or if you're not quite sure, just use one hand on there, just to keep you stable. So they're the heel raises. Now toe raises are a little bit more uncomfortable for some people because you do feel like you're leaning backwards. You're going to go onto your heels, toes come off the ground, and then the toes go flat. So you're going to go onto your heels and the toes go down. So toes lift and toes lower. If you don't feel safe, use something to stabilise you. Use that chair for balance. Or again, you can use a tabletop. Eventually you'll be able to do 10 of these without holding on and you'll feel quite secure. Brilliant. So one thing that is really important to try and do is with your walking, when you're walking around, is to try and get some big movement in there. So one of the things that we do in the class is we have something called smoothies, which are hand held. Now, not many people have those at home, but you can, if you want to, just think about swinging and getting a big swing through the arms. And then when you're ready, you get the legs to work with the arms at the same time. So now there's a big swing as a big step. If you've got the room, really go for that big swing. Stepping through